Marooned on Triton.
Hello, Internet, and welcome back to Marooned on Triton. So, last episode, we went on a little adventure around the island, around the mountain range, whatever we want to call it. We got a little bit shot at, and led this thing home to be shot at by our turrets and crash. So, I guess this week we need to figure out what to do with it. Okay, so yeah, I think I can make use of this thing. Possibly salvage it into just a straight up flying vehicle. But I need some way to manipulate it first. I guess I should fix those wind turbines. I don't know how the thing... There's no gun left, right? No, it looks like anything in the middle here was just cored out of it. It must have had some pretty heavy caliber, because it felt like these things just got wiped out in one hit. Not sure what I can do aside from... Maybe it puts a rush order on getting the defense tower built, too. Oh boy, lots to do. Yeah. So, got the Skytrike. How much power? 500 kilowatts out of... So it's got like an eighth of a battery left. Maybe let's drive it down. And put it on the charger just in case. Probably need to figure out some sort of call button. Maybe I could set up some sensors around. Because if I have a sensor up here, I can just drive up to the edge. This'll come up and greet me. Now that could get weird with... I don't know, I'll have to think on that too. One more thing for the bucket. You can just do this the old-fashioned way. Okay. You come off. Yeah, so I probably want to need to set up the actual charging connections for these things. Oh, there's so much to do. Okay, that should be good position. Alright, good enough. I'll let that recharge. Wind turbines. I think the first thing I'm gonna do is see if I can't build myself some sort of manipulation truck. Similar to how the hover barge had its arm, but hopefully a little bit more stable and probably not hovery. Because in practice, I really probably am just going to be using it to move junk around here. I could maybe go out and get stuff at a distance, but I don't know if it's going to be worth the hassle. Okay, that one will place. That one will go. There we go. Okay. So that's that stuff. I think order of operations. If we get a arm truck up that I can use to move stuff around. That'll let me kind of clean up out there real quick. Then maybe get working on a fully flying vehicle that I can use for aerial combat. And then, next step will be getting the defense tower up. Because I guess before I go out, I really should have this place more well defended than it is. Well, that's not gonna be conducive to building. There we go. So, start with that. Get us some blocks just to kind of frame it up. Nope. So, and I guess the gist is just a nice long thing, kind of like this, with wheels on it. It'll mostly be flatbed to carry stuff with kind of cab and battery and arm up here at the front. Now, what's the maximum width of thing I can put on this? Because I'm thinking, if I want this thing to be stable and actually able to hoist stuff reliably, I'm going to want it to be nice and wide. I bet with the sort of standard size wheel, I could get away with it being 3 blocks down the middle here. Which could mean I could make some of the frame out of batteries, which will help center of mass. That's smart. Though, would I be better off with bigger wheels? I mean, the thing with bigger wheels, they're nice for ground clearance, but so much of out there is kind of flat. I don't really think I need big wheels. I think I'll be better served by having a 3 wide base, or heck, I could do a 5 wide base. That might get a little tricky. So I'll do a 3 wide base, can run batteries down this middle bit. Yeah, that should give me something good to work off of. Okay, so 3 batteries. Then maybe a little bit, yeah, a little bit longer. Because I usually underestimate how long I should make something. Should also probably be looking at this. Well, no, because then my shadow gets in the way. That light is somewhat harsh. Then I have some wheels up here. So maybe there and there. And then out the back, bunch more wheels. Yeah, that should be big and hefty. Should have plenty of wheel power to move some heavy stuff around. So that's a frame. If I maybe do
energy low.
Something like these. Angled up. That should mean I can use the height. Wow. It's hard to move around on this thing, especially when you jump over it. But should mean I can use the height of the batteries to Basically, right above the battery height is the deck of the vehicle. Though, is that smart? This'll let me have more overhang over the wheels. But if I have just the deck area between the wheels, kind of flush with the batteries, that actually may be better because it'll be lower to the... It'll keep the whole thing a little lower. And depending on what I'm doing, I may not need the entire width over the wheels. I should at the very least be able to kind of, you know, that can be on a case-by-case basis if I need to make some adjustments. Well, that's a big old platform. Nope. Got my suit stuck in the wheel frames. So that's something. I just had a wild idea. What if it was all platform? If I take this, as it is, this sort of flat thing, I could have a remote on it, and then have the entire surface area almost, barring maybe a bit right here at the front for the actual arm, as cargo area. That sounds pretty interesting. Though, hold on. My traditional option would be to stick a cockpit on it. Actually, if I stick a cockpit on square in the middle here, that could do just as well. I think it's enough that I can release it here. Whoops. Definitely want the battery in there. Yeah, so if I have the cockpit here like this, I could stick the actual crane just right on top of it. Maybe have a little area here for probably some, well, just all the various things you want on a vehicle. Some headlights. I'm kind of feeling this. Very low slung, high capacity cargo machine. And it means, well, it may not be super convenient at all times, but if the crane's all the way at the front here, if I want to just use it for manipulating and, say, putting thrusters on something, I just drive forward, front, up, and I can maneuver the arm around. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Okay. Well, so if this is ostensibly done, I'll probably want... I'm gonna want some way at the back to connect for charging. Unless... I don't really want the cockpit to stick too much further forward, because we're probably getting to the point... Shoot, it may be too long for the elevator as is. Let's maybe get it operational. I'll see if it actually fits, or if I have to shrink it, and that'll decide what further things I may try and do. Okay. That should be everything functional enough to at least test. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah. Now, do I fit on the elevator? Oh yeah, with plenty of room. Perfect. Okay. Then I can go with this cockpit design, which will probably be nice because if I want to go, you know, further afield with this thing, it would be nice to be able to travel with it in comfort instead of having to stand on top. Plus, it means I don't have to worry about radio signals as I'm trying to operate, because I think I'd need an antenna on it too to make you work. So now it's building more wheels. Maybe I play with the crane now. See if I can get that designed. Because I think I'll go less insane than I won't be from trying to weld wheels. If I just go with the basic deal like I had before. We have a rotor and a hinge. Then onto this hinge, I stick maybe 2 pistons. And then if I do 2 more hinges, yeah, probably 2 more hinges, 2 more pistons, and then a little piston hinge combo, or rotor hinge combo at the end for hand manipulation. Hinge there. Rotor here. That should be in the right orientation, because I can waggle that up and down. I mean, I guess ideally I'd have rotor, hinge, rotor to have full manipulation ability. Well, I don't want to have to rebuild this, so let's just do super complex hand. You know, had I thought about it beforehand, I could have, honestly, I could have just left Humpty hooked up to the base, deployed. Well, I'd have to replace the welder on the end again. But I couldn't just put that on. It would have made welding this deck part at least easy. It won't really help with the wheels because I have to order the parts individually. I guess I could order the parts in bulk. I'll have to remember that for next time, because I could definitely use the arm to weld up some vehicle if I need to. Oh, and I need to figure out charging. I mean, the easiest solution, I guess, with that is just stick a connector back here. Most of the time, if I'm putting something on this, I'll probably be doing it from the side. So having this lip back here probably isn't that big of a deal. Yeah, that should work. Okay, so outside of pain to get up on this deck. Can I? There we go. So outside of the mechanical, or I guess outside of the control equipment stuff, we're looking pretty good. There are computers. Now, do I want... If I were to build 2 of these, I could use one for the main arm, and I could use one for the basics of the hand. I could also try and get something rigged up with this. I don't really... I just don't really think it would work well. I'm probably going to be better off controlling this similar to how I control these hinges, where I have an on-off and a reverse. Yeah, let's do... build 2 of these. Then maybe stick... some gyroscopes in there as well. That should give me enough controls to make it fairly easy to operate without having to get out and maneuver all around. I need that to come out so that I can stick a plate on here. And now I should be ready to set this thing up. Okay. So guess I should do it by naming stuff. So we have the elbow hinges. That'll be in a group. We have the piston arm, which will be a group. Then we need the forearm, which will be a group. Hand will set up, and elbow, or arm is what the other one's called, will set up as needed. Now, the pistons... That's actually probably a good speed for the pistons. So we won't show those. Elbow hinges. How fast is negative? Okay. Oh, that's braking torque. That makes more sense. Can't have negative brake. Okay. So if I set those to -5, that one's obviously already in position, but that should be a good speed. I should set everything to have maximum torque. Should probably have some braking torque. Then we'll just set everything to beefy and hope that that works. That looks nice and content. Let's name... We'll have this be the controller for the arm. We'll have this one be the one for the hand. Everything else will be controlled via the hotbar. So, arm will be rotor arm. Elevating will be hinge arm. We can adjust those later. This will be rotor hand, hinge hand, then rotor hand 2, which is this one at the very end, I can control manually. Because in theory, I'll only need that for fine precision maneuvering. Have that to control. That to control. Then I need... this one reverse on off. We'll have the elbows reverse on off, and then the forearms reverse on off. That should help me remember the order of what thing I'm moving. Then, switch lock on the mag plate. Okay. So, let's do some testing. Okay, that seems to be moving pretty good. I may knock both of these down a bit. Just so they're a little bit less jiggly. So if I switch to 2, I have to switch out and then switch to 2. I can rotate the hand, which I may want to invert. But I may not, because the hand is... If I'm actually using the hand, it will probably not be in this position. So, speaking of this position, let's deploy to the correct position. So, that'll arc that out. Oh boy. Okay. I think I want more braking torque on the hinges. Let's have all the braking torque, so that when I stop it, they hopefully stay. That is the one downside, because this has to actually pull on things versus just holding a welder in position. That could get kind of tricky. But we can extend those out. Can extend this one out. Yeah, I think that should work. We now have a crane vehicle. It's, well, not all that good of a crane vehicle yet. I need to do some wheel setup, but I think it'll work. Let's just do some quick basic setup, and I want to go and see if I can lift the thingy. How do I tell it not to... Can I not tell it not to steer from here? Guess not. I have to go to the secondary menu. Should be good enough. Okay, wheels are quite powerful. We can probably have it about there. Speed limit fairly low. Yeah, that seems good. Yeah, I am on. Reverse myself down the ramp. Really should have probably turned this thing around down there, because, oh boy. Turning circle is not very good. I may want to look into that. We should be able to do a few tweaks. Ooh, yeah. It turns like a giant platform with a crane on it. But terrain doesn't seem to be causing it too much issue. Now... Ooh. Hold on. That I need. so I can stay in position. Okay, let's see if we can pick this thing up. Okay. It's looking pretty good. I set to... Nope. There we go. Control thing number 2. Which is a little bit weird. Seems to be good. Switch to 1. Okay. We've got it. So now, bring it back in. Rotate it. Oh boy. We're definitely rocking around, but not really having much issue. Then there it is. More or less on the platform. And I forgot to put any way to lock stuff down too. Well, that'll be something we figure out next time. So, we now have back again a working crane vehicle. We should be able to use it for all sorts of things, and I guess the first order of business will be, well, I don't know, maybe we wait for rebuilding a flying machine out of this thing. So we did a lot of building today. So yeah, thank you everybody so much for watching. Feel free to check out any of the other stuff I've done, and until next week, bye bye.